Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, August 16th. Currently, markets seem to be down this morning. Looks like the S&P down 0.16%. NASDAQ is, currently down 0.19%. The Dow Jones currently down by 0.15. And the Russell 2000 currently down 0.12, the least for the day. So leader is the NASDAQ. We're seeing a few of the big tech names headed down, but pretty stable morning, I would say. Looking for two different opportunities right now. And Apple trading right at that 177 mark, which I'm liking. And then Netflix a little bit further from my price target at 424, but looking for a short position for Netflix, long position on Apple. Maybe Nvidia here too. Could be a good one. This one has a little bit more upside based on yesterday's trading. It did end up breaking the range that I had set, but we'll keep an eye on it. Right now it's trading at 445 with the top yesterday at 453 almost, and the top of this range is 448. So $3 higher, you would want to probably a lower delta for that option. Looks like Amazon's dropping pretty heavy right now. Meta's kind of the same. Microsoft kind of forming the same. So yeah, it looks like markets are overall pretty red. Google, another opportunity here, possibly for a long. Kind of liking the Google position more than I do. All right. But yeah, those are the few names I'm watching. Google, Nvidia, Apple, Netflix, short on Netflix, short on Nvidia, long Apple, long Google this morning. Kind of liking Google more so than I'm liking Apple for the long position, but we'll see how much downside there is to this. Trading at 129 right now. Stop would be at 128.75, so pretty close to the stop. And then Nvidia, again, we want a lower delta for that. But markets are open. Apple's trading right at the 177 mark. The options are going for 136, 140. All right, 150 almost now. Delta on these options is 50 cents, so we'd set our stop loss about 25 cents lower at about 110. Trying to open these at 135 each. They're fluctuating quite a bit right now, though. All right, got one of those in at 145, I think. Might add to that position too if we get closer to our mark. But new option there. Opened a new Apple 177.5 call expiring 8/18 at 145. And we got that over here, trading at 130 right now. And we'll look into our other positions too. Hopefully we can get a good short position. Looks like Netflix just tapped into that range and went right back down. Google trading at 129 right now, 129.33. So we'll take the long position there too. with our stop loss at 128.75, 50 cents lower. The 129 going for 140 right now, probably a 50 delta. Yeah, so stop loss for that one would be 115. All right, looks like Apple just went right under 177 and bounced back up, so we'll snag a second option now that it's trading there. These are going for 125 each right now, 125. We'll snag a second one. I think I missed that order just by a second. Nope. Second contract at 125. Okay. All right, here is our NVIDIA short position we could take. Again, this one we want a lower delta on it just because it does have a little bit of upside potential that we're risking for the trade. And then the other short position was Netflix, but I think that one's already missed. Yeah. Okay. Looks like Google's got a little bit of upside here. Possibly we'll add that position to the bottom right screen. Google. That's not right. Wrong expiration date here. There we go. 129 is going for 140. Looks like NVIDIA already made its move down. So missed that opportunity for the short, but it was up to 426 right in that range before pulling back. Looks like the market's kind of pulling back altogether. No surprise here. It's been like this for the last few days. They're not moving these Google contracts by much either. I'm at break even for those at the moment. I'd probably like to see it at least above 129.50. 130 would be ideal, but we'll watch and see how this plays out. And hopefully this little bit of upside that we're getting will get us some shorting opportunities on either Netflix or NVIDIA. All right, there goes Apple to the upside at 177.5, 177.60. Up by $30 for those contracts, 10% so far. At the top of our range now. Probably don't want to test our luck for it, especially having 2 contracts. So I'm going to take profit on those and then keep the Googles. All right, I got 151 to close those. And then we will test our luck here with Google. Looks like it went just outside of the range and came back down. Contracts are going for 150, or actually 140 now. But they went to 160 before that pullback there. Yeah. That is going to be at 3 o'clock today. I forgot to talk about the title of this video. So Michael Burry ended up going all in. It's like 93% of his holdings, I believe, into SPY and QQQ puts. I've seen a lot of misinformation on this, actually. But we'll go to Scion Capital 13F filing. So basically, this just shows you his latest holdings as of last quarter. 51% in SPY puts and then 42% in QQQ. I'm surprised that he didn't take the opposite since QQQ has just been insane. But the notional value of these options is 900 million, almost 886 million, and then 738 million. So notional value is just the total shares that he's controlling with the options that he has. And I think the share position was something along the lines of 2 million. Yeah, 2 million of each. So if we divide that by 100, 2 million divided by 100 is 20,000 options that he bought. But it doesn't give you any data as to what expiration date that they chose. It doesn't give you any information as to what strike price is. So we don't really know the position that he has. All we know is that he just bought a shit ton of puts, 20,000 puts for SPY and QQQ. And it doesn't necessarily mean that he's short $2 billion, because I think his assets under management doesn't even exceed, it's $237 million. So there's no way that he could short $2 billion of the market. But anyway. Seeing Google at the top of the range, maybe catching some support at 129.50. Kind of thinking about adding a second option to this since we are gaining that support. But the stop loss is pretty well below where we're trading. Almost a whole dollar of delta for these options is 50 delta. So that would be risking 100. I really wish we got in on that NVIDIA put. That would have been a nice little quick gain out of it. But hopefully we can get back to, 455.5. Maybe reshort it. And then we'll check on Netflix. That was the other short that I was looking to take today. Add at or above, I think 424, if I remember right. Yeah, 424, you want a low delta with this one too, because it has a lot of upside potential based on the range that I've got. Got two names in the green today, Apple and Nvidia. The rest of them aren't down that bad. The worst is Meta, which is only down 1%. But the rest of them down 0.75% for Amazon, trading at a 2-day low almost. Tesla was as low as 227 in the pre-market. People using that as a buying opportunity right now. The FOMC minutes isn't until 3 p.m. today, or 2 p.m. today. So that's not going to move the markets until then. But yeah, it basically just reiterates, most of the time, it just reiterates what was said at the last meeting. So it's usually a non-event, but they can add some things into it. I think either, I think it was a couple months ago, they ended up adding something to it saying that some of the members of the Fed, not the chair people, but some of the members of the Fed thought that there's a possibility of a recession, and then the chair people of the Fed disagreed with it. All right, we're seeing Google trading at 129.83, new high in almost 129.91. Contracts are up by 25%. Not too bad of a gain. I'd really like to see 130 before I pull the trigger on selling it, but 15 cents really isn't that big of a deal, I don't think. I'll try to sell them for 168. There we go. Closed out of that. That one I kind of wish I had gone heavier on, but that's okay. 129 call at 168. And we're seeing these couple names going up, so hopefully that means other names are gaining some, but looks like Nvidia and Netflix are still down, so we're not getting that shorting opportunity there. But those two long positions, let's see how much we got from them. Open the first one at 145, second one at 125, so 135 average cost for two. Ended up selling them for total at 302. So that's $30 there, plus the 168 minus 120, 140. So about $60 profit so far this morning. And we might be able to take a long position for Nvidia at this 440 mark. Now that it is coming down to 441. Ideally, I'd like to see it at 440 before I open it. And then the stop loss for this trade would be 436. So $4 lower, you want to use a lower delta. But it looks like it just tagged that level and went right back up right now at 442. So probably going to get some ping pong between 440 and 446, 445 and a half would be my guess here. All right, we're seeing Netflix almost at 424 now. Again, we want to use a low delta for that option, just because it has a lot of room to run up to 428 for the stop loss. Let's see, the 415 put has a 23 delta, so you're risking roughly 100, a little bit less. Looks like Google's popping off right now. 130.25. Big green candle there. Problem I have with shorting Netflix, the last couple of days we haven't got that much downside. The lowest we've gone to is 418.78, and that's the lowest point that we've seen for a long time, since July, late July, July 27th. So there might not be too much opportunity to the downside, but it does seem like it wants to get rejected right around that 424 mark. First time it went above it just a little bit at 424.50. Now it's at 423.15, peaking at 423.85. So there does seem to be a decent resistance there. I'm going to add that here. Trading at 178 to 187 right now. The highest that they went was 256, and the lowest they just went was 155. So I think we're going to try to get these at about 150 a piece. All right, here comes NVIDIA back into the range for that call. Still a bit off at $1.50 away. But I'm going to add the Netflix put to the watch list, and then we'll watch an NVIDIA call now. This one, let's see how much downside. There's about the same, $4 of downside. So you want the lower delta. 450 call has a 33 delta. I think that's still a bit high. 455 has a 25 delta. That does kind of worry me being that far out of the money on a Wednesday. If it does trade flat, that would get rid of some of the value. But let's see. We could just take the larger risk delta, 33 delta, for the 450 call and then set our stop loss higher. Maybe at like 438 instead of 436. These contracts are going for 450. The lowest that they went right now is 405. And the highest they went up to was 676 at the peak of the market, and then 550 just 5 minutes ago. So we'll try to get them at about, let's say, 450 a piece, a little bit below that. Oh wait, sorry, 400 was the lowest price that they went, so we'll try to get them at 400. Those Netflix puts are doing well now. Up from 160, 170 a piece to 215. Seeing a pullback on Google, a little bit of one on Apple. So markets could be reversed in the opposite direction here. Microsoft creating a good short opportunity too. Stop loss on this would be 323.50. Right now it's at 321.50. So $2 a delta. Let's see. I'll go with a 317.5. I'd like actually to go with a round number strike price instead. The delta on the 320 is a bit high, 40 though. And the delta on the 315 is too low at 18. So if it does go down a decent bit, you're not going to make that much money on it. But these would be the two opportunities I'm watching now. NVIDIA 450 call and then a 320 put for Microsoft. Hopefully Microsoft gains a little bit. These contracts were trading for 180. I feel comfortable in that position, and then cutting losses about $1 higher, so that 40 delta doesn't impact us as much. create some alerts here. At or below 440 for the NVIDIA call. Getting close here. And then at or above 322.25 for the Microsoft put. Looks like volume is kind of slowing down pretty heavily on Microsoft here. Honestly, I'm kind of thinking about just setting the stop loss at 440 on NVIDIA here, since it's not reaching that level. It's trading at 441. 30 delta on these options. We could go with a higher delta. Maybe the 445 has a 40 delta on it. Trading for 600 right now. All right, there we go. There's that downside. All right. It's trading for 395 right now. Try to open it here, hopefully. Yep, 392 entry. See, the delta on that is 28. It's fallen about $1.50, so should be only a 45 loss, but it looks like it's actually adding up a little bit more. Trading at 340 right now. Right in the middle of the range at 438. pricing on these options is kind of weird. You got about $1 of upside there on that wick, but it didn't change the price on the options. All right. Well, I'm going to add a second position here since it's trading at 438. All right, just got back out of that range too. Trading back for 400. $410, $420. Almost back to 442 here. So that's enough for me. 430. We'll sell them for 425. They already dropped them. All right, got 405 to exit those. Yeah, I went just about 442 before that pullback, which is what I wanted out of it. They went a little bit higher to 415 and 420. And I'd imagine there could be some upside potential back to 445, but that dip down into the 438 level might kind of get us to like 443 instead of 445. But yeah, we bought one at 350. The other one at 398. So 748. Open it. Closed them at 810. 810 minus 748. 62. So total 120 profit today. And that might be the last one that I make. We'll check in on Microsoft. That was one of the positions I might want. Right at that 322.25 mark. Again, stop loss is about $1 higher at 323.50. Yesterday it did trade decently above at 324.50, so that does give me a little bit of worry for the trade, but The 322 has a 37 delta. Usually if it's trading at the edge of the range, I like to go with the lower delta, but there is only about $1 of upside, so. I think I'd be okay with the 320 with a 40 delta. Trading for 183 right now, 180, so our stop loss would be 140 for this contract. They just got those contracts up a little bit more. 182 instead of 180. All right. Just open those at 179. Again, stop loss on that will be 140. Again, this one we're risking about $1 of upside, so we want to see it probably to 321, which is below the previous lows. That would probably start a downtrend. Last high was a little bit above 322.50. Right now it's trading at 322.40, so just a smidge below it. That's a decent candle in the range there. Right in the halfway point. The markets have just been very messy and volatile lately, it seems like, which happens whenever you get this downside that we've been seeing. What's expected from the Fed minutes today? Probably nothing, I would think. You might get a mention of a recession in the minutes, but I mean, that's already been predicted for a year at this point, since we had 2 consecutive negative GDP quarters. So I don't think it'll have any impact on the market personally. Microsoft's having a pretty difficult time passing up 323 right now. Still about 50 cents of risk to the upside here. Contracts are going for 160. I got them at 170. All right, just above 323 now. Amazon looks like it's moving up. Yeah, it looks like the markets are moving up altogether. Amazon was down 1%, and now it's only down 0.65, so decent return. Google still headed higher at 130.5 almost. And Apple's at 178, so we let go of both of those calls a bit early. All right, I've hit my stop here. 135 a piece. 137, 138. All right. It looks like it just went right above the stop and came down. The bid is just moving around too much for me. Yeah, there we go. We'll get out at 130. 131. And it's trading right at that mark, 323.50. So we got stopped out, but it still could be a re-entry here. No, looks like we made the right move on that. 20 cents above our stop, 30 cents now. If we look at yesterday's price action, there's about $1.50 more that it could rise. Delta for this option is about 30. So we risk 45 for the trade if we open another. And we would want at least $1.50 downside to 322. Down to 323 now. Pretty sharp pullback. Decent volume coming into it too. So probably what happened there, and people got stopped out over 322.50. Ended up pulling back. Now it's trading at 156 for those contracts. I got another one at 140. 2000. That would be a rough day. Yesterday, I ended up losing 200. Basically, all of my stops got hit. Taking on 4 trades, so that was rough. Today so far has been okay. I've had 2 winners, 1 loser with Microsoft. Looks like Nvidia's moving back down. Topped out at 444. Microsoft just seems to have a hard time going under 322.50 right now. Looks like implied volatility is going up on Microsoft here. Contracts are back to 160 a pop. $165 now. Okay. Well, I won't get greedy with it. I'll take the 165 and bounce. They just sent it back down to 160. Fun. bid ask for this contract's kind of crazy. 3 cents wide for a 150 contract. Topped out at 165 with the low of that candle. Getting this like 50 cents back and forth. Frustrating stuff. All right, I'm going to sell it here at 155. I'm tired of waiting for this trade to play. I got 157 for it. And now they send it down right after I exit. Will love that for me. Right under 322.50. And that's probably going to be the last one today. We'll see if we have any other shots. I mean, Microsoft is the only one that's in the range, so probably don't want to take that one again just because it is getting this back and forth action. I'd imagine, unless the markets just crash like hell, probably going to stay in this range, which is very, very tight. Let's see. Netflix not close to shorting yet. Nvidia close to a long position, but still a couple of dollars of downside that I would want to see. Apple almost at 177.75 here. Already took that position for the call with Google. Should have held to both of those. Those are both going up against the market. But yeah, that's all the trades for me today, and I will catch y'all tomorrow at 9:30. See you, everybody.